Right, so we're going to go over your daily language, your language arts stuff this week. Is page 108, an assignment that you'll have this week. And let's start. Read each sentence and underline the word with an R-controlled vowel sound. So an R-controlled vowel sound are sounds such as IR, as in third, as in EAR, as in ER, as in UR, and ER. Those are all sounds. So whenever you see an IR, ER, EAR, those are all sounds. You guys do a pretty good job with those. Here we have contractions. These are in your spelling words this week, and they're contractions for a few words. So is not would be contraction for isn't. So remember, a contraction represents is representative of two words. So is not, and it's spelled ISN apostrophe T. So I know a lot of you want to call the apostrophe a comma a lot of times, but remember, a comma in the sky is called an apostrophe. So use those terms regularly because I know a lot of you have a hard time with that word apostrophe. We have the word didn't, can't, I'm, he's, isn't, and will. So those are your spelling words, so you will be able to learn how to write them if you do not know how to do that already. Um, Another assignment for this week is you're going to be working with synonyms, okay? Synonyms, we've worked with that before. Synonyms are words that mean the same. And I always remember synonyms because same starts with an S and so does synonym, because antonyms are opposite words, but synonyms are mean the same. So because they start with the same letter S, that's how I remember it. And so you're going to circle the synonyms that in the sentences that help you define each word in bold. So here we have a bolded word. Then in your own words, write the definition of the word on the line. So you would need to write the definition, but you also need to circle. So you'll circle upset. The animals were upset. We need to find another word that means the same as upset. They were sad because they needed water to survive. So sad would be our synonym for upset. So in the next few lines, you'll be finding words that mean the same, okay, as each other. And then you'll be reading this folk tale. So in your Blackboard, here are some of the skills that you'll be working on this week. In a folk tale, we're going to go here. And if you forget what a folk tale is, you can always click on that link. Fairy tale. So fairy tale is a type of folk tale. Okay, it has characters, it has settings, it has story events, and a lesson learned. So they're written to be, funny or humorous by changing a fairy tale in an unexpected way. A folk tale can teach a lesson and okay, so also a folktale usually is passed on from generation to generation, and of course not they're based on something that's not true, but passed down from word of mouth. It does have character settings and story events. Usually, it could be good guys versus bad guys or magical events. A lessons learned. Lessons learned are like never give up or follow your dreams. Dreams can come true. So folktale a lot of times has a lesson learned as well. So in your pages that you'll be working on, you tell me how this is a folktale. Also, you're working on problem and solution. So how is a problem solved? It's usually in most stories where there's a problem and the problem gets solved. So think about in your life if you've ever had a problem Hmm. So let's see. I have a problem. I have a big problem. My dog is crazy. He has so much energy. So that's our big problem around here. And so what our solution has been is that we have to always take him on a walk, a really long walk, so he gets out that energy. And that is our solution. So remember how the characters solve that problem. And usually in all stories, that occurs. You'll be telling me about that in several stories this week. Um, then you will also, so becoming folktales, problem and solution, quotation marks. So you are going to be working on quotation marks. So quotation marks go around what someone says. If the quote is at the beginning, so we'll go, there's a certain way that you do write quotation marks. Um, and we've been working on dialogue in stories, how they're told. There's a lot of times through dialogue and people, characters talking and people talking. Um, so this week you will be getting a chance to write more dialogue from the story Martina and the Cockroach. Um, you'll be writing an extended conversation dialogue between Martina and I believe it's the lizard in there, Don Lagarto. So here's actually the assignment right here between Martina and Dan Lagarto is um, you'll be writing an extended conversation. In the story, they have a conversation, they have dialogue, and you'll see that through quotation marks. So at the end of that page, which is on page 209, in that story, you're going to be writing an extended conversation. Um, and so that should be fun. And that will be your one of your writing assignments for the week. When you look at quotation marks, okay, um, the words that are said are within the quotes. So let's take a look at your assignment, one of your assignments. And this is from Connected here. I'd like to see the new movie about penguins, said Mom. So said Mom is not what she said. She said, I'd like to see the new movie about penguins. So the quotation marks are going to go outside of the uh, comma, and the quotation marks are going to be here too as well. So let's take a look at that. All right, so we can actually take a look at the conversation. You'll have to read the entire story, but here's the conversation between Martina and the lizard. So here, but I need you. Wait, here's quotation marks. And the lizard fell one scaly knee and warbled, comma, Martina. So if there's a exclamation mark, it will be within. And also there'll be, if you have a comma, like let's look at, trying to find one. Food for thought, senor, comma, right here, quotation mark, Martina said icily. So whatever is said within the quotation marks and the punctuation is also within the quotation mark if it's at the beginning of the sentence, okay? If it is at the end here, you're going to have the period within it as well. So make sure that the punctuation is inside of it. If it's at the end of a sentence, such as, let's see if I can see it, or if it's at, um, let's see if I can find an example. I can't find an example there, but this will be the where you're going to extend your dialogue. This and extend your extension of what is being said, so you get to kind of be the author there. There's a few more directions on that and what you're supposed to do. You'll have to have at least 3 quotation marks from 3 that Martina says and 3 that Don Legardo say and how they say it to each other. You can copy some of the formatting for quotation marks, but you do have that assignment. Let's see if I can pull that up again. Here. So I'd like to see the new movie about penguins, comma, and the quotation mark, remember, is outside of that comma. Let's all go to this afternoon, Dad suggested. Remember, the quotes are what Dad said. Also, let's see. You have to use colons. Colons are what are called, it's like the 2 periods on top, stacked on top of each other between the time 2:30 and 5 o'clock, 2:30. So they're wanting to use those as well. But anyway, so the quotation marks, you'll get to have practice writing quotation marks, and then you get to write your own. So you will be writing that in Blackboard, and it's in this section here. You'll click on here, and you'll be able to write that conversation. Remember that I'm trying to tell everyone that you are needing to write or type everything. If you are too slow of a typer, then you can go ahead and write your assignments. We're trying to get to be better and faster typers on the computer. So make sure if you are typing, you're going to type it, then you type it. Do not have an older sibling or an older person or a cat or a dog or babies type them, okay? It's definitely a very different uh, outcome that you will have if you type it or write it. So yeah, I know that none of you would ever have anyone write your assignments. So let's just, for now on, try to have you type them. And you can always talk to me about that. So you're working with a lot of new things this week. Quotation marks and dialogue is really fun to start using and start working with. I know some of you do write stories with dialogue already, but we have not done that yet. So a lot of fun things. Thank you for working so hard, and I think that's it for the week. Thanks a lot.